Hey, yo, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast, presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got Jamie the Great here.
Yeah.
We got DJ P-Dot in the building.
What up?
Big shout out to our boy Never. Rest in peace, Never forever. We're recording this live in Vegas, and we have some legends in the building right now. We have two of the original members of the Beat Junkies crew. You know, they're pioneers in turntablism and redefined DJ culture in the West Coast worldwide for over 30 years. You know, this one DJ is known for his razor-sharp cuts, clean mixing, technical precision. This DJ has been such a legendary staple in radio and nightlife, rocking stages from LA to Vegas and beyond. Influenced so many great DJs from Cali. He's one of the most respected and versatile DJs in the game. We have Mellow D in the building. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
What's up, fellas?
The next DJ is a legendary turntablist and innovator, widely regarded as one of the most creative scratch DJs in the history of the craft. Not only is he a key member of the Beat Junkies, but he's also down with the iconic Invisible Scratch Pickles, and they perform some of the most historic showcases and team battles ever. Shout to Q-Bird, Mixmaster Mike, Apollo, and Shortcut. Big shout to Shortcut, who's up and around, and he's looking good. He's also responsible for the first full-length album created entirely from scratching, Fantasmagoria. I mean, it's groundbreaking and still considered a masterpiece. We have DJ D Styles in the building. And joining them is a DJ who's been deeply rooted in the DJ and nightlife culture for years. If you've ever heard of Red Cup Sundays, this DJ was a part of that, yes? Of that infamous party?
Wow.
And he's also the manager and the business mind behind some of the Beat Junkies ventures, and he's teamed up with Melody and D Styles, opening their new DJ-inspired pizza spot made from scratch. This is real, right? Y'all have a pizza spot right now.
It's a real spot.
All right, we got Sunil.
It's live.
We got Sunil, a.k.a. DJ For Real, in the building. What's good?
Yep.
What's good, fellas?
Chilling, man.
Y'all
Thanks.
in Vegas? What y'all doing in Vegas? All three of y'all just doing corporate shit?
Yeah. It's a group that we played with a few times. But they do this. It's a really big deal. It's a huge convention at the MGM Grand Arena.
Right.
So this was like our fourth or fifth time.
Nice.
But D Styles and I paired up to do like basically a 1 hour showcase for the third and final day of the convention this year. So we've been out here all week. Rehearsed 2 days at his house. We had dress rehearsal and sound check yesterday, and then the show was today. So
I'm really happy to see y'all getting a corporate convention bag.
Get the bag.
Those are always nice, right?
Definitely.
But how do you guys pick who comes out for the gigs or for the events? For like, D Styles, are they just picking one of you? Like,
no, it's pretty much. I mean, in terms of Beat Junkies, like internally, like we always keep everything open to everyone. It really just comes down to scheduling, is what it is. Like with us, like everyone's just so busy. Half of the crew still travels like pretty regularly,
right?
And outside of that, like there's other Beat Junkies. We have other small business and stuff that some of the other fellas are holding down. So we've rotated. This is, like I said, an event we've done a handful of times.
Right.
So I think D did it 1 year solo. I did one time solo. Babu was with us on the last time that we were out here in 2019, whenever that was. But yeah,
2022 actually.
We try and keep like a good balance like in the rotation. So
is there any one of the Beat Junkies that like hate to travel or always say no to the gigs and shit? No, it's pretty open.
No. Yeah, everyone's usually down. Yeah,
you guys have been pretty busy all year. D Styles and Mello. You guys have been. Mello, you just did. You're Not Down, right?
I did. Yeah. Shout out to Angie.
Party?
That was sick. Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, it was my first time out there.
That's on the top of my bucket list right now to go check out.
Yeah, it's dope. It's a banger for sure.
It's a banger? How was that?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, she celebrates pretty much mostly like throwback music, and every DJ.
But LA, Cali.
Oh, it's SoCal, right?
Like
backyard boogie all day. I mean, it's mostly like Chicano, like the Chicano scene, like, you know what I mean. And it's out there in Pomona at that super dope venue, man. The Fairplex, they have a really nice covered tent called the Derby Room with a really huge like indoor space. But she gets like 1,500 plus people out there. It's a banger for sure, and great crowd. I mean, I know we were talking off camera before, but like we were talking about, well, the last club I went to, like there was just no motion, like zero motion, and it was just dead. And her parties, it's the polar opposite of that. Right. People like are not afraid to like sing along, dance, like throw their drinks in the air, have a good time. You know what I mean? It was just fun, man. It was dope, and she puts a really dope lineup together. And I pulled her aside at the end of the night. I really had to give it up to her because
nice.
it's such a big event. It takes a lot and a very competent team to pull something off like that month after month after month. And I didn't get a chance to meet everybody. I have no idea like how many she has on board, but they've really got it together.
Right.
I mean, everything from the people at the front to hospitality to the guys running the soundboard. You know what I mean? She's got a couple stage hands. Like there was a guy, shout out to Frankie. He was coming up to me like every 10 minutes. Mello, you good? You need anything? Like while I was DJing, I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you, bro. Like whatever. Like, maybe a cerveza later on or whatever. But yeah, it was super fun, man. And then, I mean, that's my wheelhouse all day. Like just, cause I grew up on all that same music. So yeah.
She's such a great host.
Oh, yeah,
like she's always been a great host.
Yeah.
Even like when I used to watch her like Instagram lives and shit. She's always coming like she's a great host. She's a great DJ.
Her energy's on tip.
Her energy's on
a great
point.
human being.
Yeah. I'm so happy for her that she has like this. Like it's become like an iconic party for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially for Cali, especially that
P-Town.
Yeah, especially Pomona, which like Pomona. I learned about very late about LA.
Kirk like, what is Pomona? I was like, oh, let me break it down.
It's like it's one of those like parties or events that I would just love to go, and I feel like I would just be like, it would be transformative where I would just be like in a time capsule of like, oh, this was like LA and Cali in the 90s, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like for sure.
The party like perfectly is a reflection of like Pomona and like the culture and the sound they've had since as long as I've been alive. Like
unapologetically,
unapologetically.
Yeah, it's not even, I wouldn't even say LA. It's just some Southern California shit. Like it's just because you get people coming out from all the suburbs. So like, where I grew up, Cerritos, or people come from out there, people from Carson, people from the SGV, people from Pomona, obviously, people from the IE, San Bernardino, Riverside. Like it's everybody coming together. Like you need to celebrate like all this timeless music. You know what I mean? And it's a rager, man. It's super dope. Yeah, shout out to Angie, man. That was a lot of fun.
We gotta go check that out.
Yeah, we gotta check that out.
One of these days we have to go.
I texted her not long ago. I was like, hey, which one's the best one? And she's like, all of them. I'm like, okay. Like, you gotta let me know these lineups because I gotta be choosy with my choice here. But yeah. D-Styles,
you did a big event. You did the Rhyme Fest, right?
Yeah.
With some of the Beat Junkies crew and some of the pickles, right?
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago. It was a big hip hop festival in LA, in downtown at the LA Coliseum.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was dope. They had 2 different stages. I got to perform with Qbert and Shortcut as a Scratch Pickles, but J-Rock was there, Babu with Dilated, Rapmatic was there, Mr. Chalk also. So yeah, it was dope, man.
Are you guys like surprised that like you guys are still like, I mean, not to diss, you guys are like legends, but isn't it incredible that you guys are still DJing? And I feel like there's a bigger appreciation for what you guys do now.
1000%.
Like after the pandemic, don't you think?
Go ahead.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful and blessed to still be here doing this.
Yeah.
Me personally, I've always been more of a lab rat. You know what I mean? Like I like to be in the studio and creating stuff. I like doing shows and DJing too, but I feel like Mello and J-Rock and those guys shine on stage. You know what I mean? I'm more of like low
modest.
key, so you know what I mean.
No, I'll say the last place I lived in LA was 2 exits away from the airliner. Picking that place was I'll say like a good chunk of it was like, oh, it's right next to Low End Theory. Like, yeah, I think I'll pick this place.
Right.
And I was there every week.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Talk to me about Low End Theory. Yo, D, can you break down Low End Theory for like motherfuckers who don't know?
Low End Theory was a weekly party that we would do every Wednesday in Lincoln Heights.
Right? What year was it around?
From like 2008 to we stopped about 2018. So we were shy of like 10 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But it was one of the only parties that was 18 and up. So you can go there, be a youngster. And we were very, very weed friendly.
Very.
Just, so, I mean, it was one of the spots where you could go smoke weed and listen to music. And music, it was centered around more instrumental type stuff. So more producers. So, like we had cats that like Flying Lotus, Toki Monster.
Wow.
Daedalus, guys who are now like huge in the electronic scene. You know what I mean? It was the hangout. You know what I mean? It was where producers would go just to play their beats. You know what I mean? Just to be heard. There was no outlet really like that. You know, at the time. So that was Low End Theory. You know what I mean? I love DJing there. I could play whatever I wanted. I could scratch. I could play reggae, dub. You know, anything. Like, and people were just hungry to hear music. They were, you know, enhanced off of green, and you know what I'm saying. It was a great time.
You know, D, you and Mello have such like different, distinct styles and approaches, right? And like Mello, how would you describe like, you know, D Styles' approach or, you know, style to DJing, and vice versa? If you guys had to like explain each other's style to each other and their approach, how would you explain it?
I mean, me and D go back 30 plus years, but ever since I met him, like in the early 90s, I mean, the best way to describe it, D is he's just a musician, man, straight up. Like, he plays the turntable like any other instrument. You know, he's been regarded as like the Miles Davis of scratch music, which is just, that's just the fact on the ground. You know what I mean? He's just super creative, innovative. I mean, technically, like, no one sounds like him, no one in the world. You know, and you've got all these other scratch DJs like from Europe and Japan. Like, he's just been such a major influence in scratching, in the art of scratching, and in scratch music. And I mean, I have all the respect, and he's my brother, of course, first and foremost, and I got all the respect in the world for him, for his legacy and everything, all his contributions, like everything he's done. I've been fortunate enough to travel with him, perform live with him, perform some of his own music with him. I mean, away from the decks, off stage, like, he's, you know, he's my man, 100 grand. Like, he's fun to hang out with. We always have a good time. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's one of a kind, man. D Styles is one of a fucking kind.
Do you remember the first time you heard him get busy?
I do. Yeah. So this was 93, maybe 92 or 93, and going back to where I grew up in Cerritos, I had still kind of in my mobile days, but I was doing like a mobile birthday party or something like down the street from where I grew up in Cerritos, and I get a call from shout out to DJ Curse, original Beat Junkie, one of the founding members. But Curse's house, his garage was kind of like Beat Junkies HQ back in those days. So we all used to posse up at Curse's, and that's where we all used to practice or meet up to go to a gig or go record shopping. So Curse calls me up. It's like 1:30 in the morning, and this is like the pager days, right? So I go to the payphone, I call him, like, what's up? He's like, dude, what are you doing? Is your gig still? I'm like, yeah, we're wrapping it up. He's like, hey, when you're done, you got to come by, man. I got D Styles in a shortcut over here. You got to see this fucking scratch. And that was the first time I met D. I went over to Curse's, and they were showing us the flare scratch. And we were just like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, we're just
still one of the hardest scratches to fucking.
Oh yeah. But I mean, and again, this is our first time meeting them, and man, we just clicked right away, man. They were so cool. Like, you know, this is again back in the era of like, this is, you know, kind of peak turntablism, I guess. So there was a lot of gatekeeping going on, you know what I mean? But not with them. They were like, oh, it's like this, fellas. You know what I mean? They were trying to show us. And then I think they had to go back to the Bay. And then we literally spent like every night for the next month at Curse's, maybe like 4 or 5 nights a week. Just like practice. Rectangle. I think Rectangle was there too.
Yeah.
But Rectangle would drive up from San Diego to Curse's, like, you know, in the weeks ahead. So we were all trying to just like learn this flare scratch, man. And but yeah, I'll never forget that night, man. I think it's even on videotape somewhere. Curse might even have video of it. He needs to digitize. But that was the first time I met D and Short right there. Was at Curse's garage back in the day.
That's dope. That's crazy. D, if you had to describe Mello's style and his approach, and you know, all the years and decades y'all been working together, how would you describe it?
I mean, have you guys ever heard Mello mess up? You know,
nope.
Never, right?
Never. No. Cleanest DJ I've ever heard.
Fuck, like perfect. You know what I mean?
On vinyl and on Serato, it's both. Like the same shit.
God. It don't matter. Like he's
blushing over there.
No, but like, you know, he's like the ultimate fighter. Like he can kill you on the ground. He can choke you out. He can strike and you know what I mean? Like he's the complete MMA fighter. You know what I mean? Battle, club, whatever situation. Like he's the ultimate DJ, the ultimate turntablist. he can do it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, roadies and roadies for life. You already know that we rock heavy with DJ City. It's our go-to record pool to download the latest music, edits, and remixes for our DJ sets. So now, Road listeners can join DJ City for only $10.
$10?
Only $10. That's almost 70% off the first month. Make sure you scan the QR code or click the link in the description or go to djcity.com/offer/road to jump on this great deal.
What was the first time you saw Melody? Did you see him before y'all met? Did you see him like
on a DVD,
kind of get down before?
DVD, on a VHS or something like that?
Yeah. I want to say it was when I came. So me and Shortcut would come down to LA. We would stay at like Rhett Maddox, and Rhett was the one that told us, "You got to hear Melody. He's, you know what I mean. He's a sick ass cutter, you know." And so yeah, I mean, Mello. I think it was that time at Curse's Garage. I'm pretty sure it was, you know, that was my first time hearing you cut too, also, Mello.
Yeah, that's the first time that I remember. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I was blown away. And it was dope because we kind of came from that same era where we were scratching with the toggle switch with the clicker.
Oh shit!
And Mello, you also had the Newmark mixer, right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that like line switch gave a certain sound, like a certain click to it, and you know, we both like came up on that style of scratching, you know what I mean? So we had that in common right off the bat.
Yeah. Is there like a memorable like routine or showcase that you're most proud of after all these years?
For me?
Yeah.
All my stuff has like been sloppy and
Really?
you know, like
what?
You know,
Liar.
Like, yeah, no, liar, man. You know, back in the days when you would have like an answering machine and you would hear your voice, like I can't stand to like watch myself on video or listen. Yeah, man, it's like cringy. You know what I mean?
Because you're always just like you're over analyzing and correcting yourself, or what is it?
I think so. Yeah, it's like, oh man, I fucked up right there. I could have done that better or cleaner. You know what I mean? I'm like,
So you're like a classic perfectionist.
Yeah,
they both are. That's how you get so good, right? Be a perfectionist. I mean, I'd walk back from the club with Mello, and he'd be like, "Oh man, I messed up," or something. He's just telling me. At one point, I just started rolling my eyes. I'm like, Mello, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, your mess up is somebody else's perfection. Yeah. So,
D, come on, you got to have at least one showcase, one battle, one routine that, you know, still gives you goosebumps, or you're still like, yo, you're proud of that shit.
Proud. Well, there was one showcase that we did in Japan. Man, Mello, what year was that? It was like 2000. Oh no, maybe 99, and it was myself, Shortcut, Cuber, and Mello, and we were just kind of jamming on stage in Tokyo. I want to say that, who else was there? Mello, the X-Men, I think, were there.
Yeah, was that the Vestex World
Vestex
Championship
extravaganza? Yeah. So I mean, that was a good moment because I got to jam with like all my heroes. You know,
all the greats with X-Men there.
Yeah,
Rock Raider.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Raider.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
What about you, Mello? Is there like a memorable routine or showcase?
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is when I won the World Championship. This is years ago. This is in the 90s, but it was outside of winning the trophy, it was the Vestex World Championship in Japan. But that was my first time, like, you know, just traveling like overseas. My first time to Japan. I was with Qbert, Rhetmatic, Key Cool. Vestex was a brand new company, and so, you know, they threw this DJ battle, and Babu and I went head to head out here, and somehow I edged them out, like, you know, in the USA finals, and they sent me to Japan, and I ended up, you know, winning that one. But yeah, that was a big moment, you know, just to, you know, like they say, the thrill of victory, and just to bring the title back home was pretty dope.
It's so interesting, the influence that you guys have had in DJ culture, you know, and then you know, D, you recently were a judge at the DMC Scratch Wildcard, right?
Yeah.
So like, you just seeing the DMC and like the competition, and you're judging it right now.
Right.
How much has changed when you're seeing like the new contestants, and you're seeing these routines? Like, how much has changed?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because these kids are so fast and so technical. I actually don't want to hear that side of like scratching. I want to hear something that's more musical and something that's more meaningful. You know what I mean? That like, I want to hear them say something, you know what I mean? And a lot of it is just like crazy patterns. And all that stuff is very impressive, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I would call like the new like era of, or the newer DJs, a lot of it sounds like robotic and super rehearsed rather than like a little bit more jazzy and a little bit more like funky and just like in the pocket.
Right.
I feel like that's gotten lost a little bit in like the technical side of like DMC.
Right.
Well, even with your students at the Beat Junkie Institute of Sound, what's harder? Is it teaching the technique or teaching creativity? I feel like, is there just a lack of creativity now and individuality?
That's a good question.
Yeah, like some people I think are just born with it, you know what I mean? And some people it just comes quicker. I don't know if you can really teach that part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think you can teach creativity.
Yeah.
But are you seeing more of an absence of it?
Yeah,
In the
definitely.
contestants, even in the DMC?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I think so. I think because back in the day we would take songs, we would take records, known songs, say like Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, and people would flip that. So you would know the song, understand it, and be like, oh shit, okay, he's doing this and that with it. But these days, people are constructing their own songs and their own kits, and you don't really understand, like, you know what I mean? You're not really following it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're saying the music isn't like as universal. It's not touching.
It's not translating.
It's not translating as well.
Yeah, I think technology also plays a role too. I mean, going back to like our battle days, like in the 90s, I mean, we were using vinyl, right? 12 inches and whatever records we had, those were our tools. And you didn't have cue points. You didn't have all the bells and whistles that you have in 2025. So you really had to like think way outside the box, with like needle dropping and like putting stickers on your records. And like, if you had a 6-minute routine, you had to like sit there with the stopwatch, time yourself, literally down to like switching a record out. How many bars can I get this next record on? 4 bars is whatever, 8 seconds, and 8 bars is double that. But now with, cue points and loops and all these, and they're great. Like I use them all day, don't get me wrong, but it's just a different world now. You know what I mean? There's a lot more luxury, and it really like, it really opens up your approach a lot, because it's almost like the world is yours. Like it's endless. You know what I mean? You can just do anything you can think of.
Yeah. When you guys are working with the students at the Beat Junkies Institute of Sound, like what's the biggest hurdle that you're noticing with the students? What's the biggest advantage that they have too as well?
The biggest advantage, the classes that I've taught, and I've taught pretty much all levels from beginner to like, advanced. The biggest hurdle has been some people that they just don't have rhythm. And that's not really something you can teach. Like they,
really?
It's, I mean, you can talk them through it. Like I had a couple students, and going back to something simple, like dropping on the 1, right? So the way our technique, our method is like, we teach them the baby scratch, right? Because that's just something that you do rhythmically when you're going to drop your mix, whether you're playing a record or on CDJs or a controller, whatever, just like, kind of just like get your rhythm locked in and then drop on the 1. So we would teach them to do a 1 bar baby scratch, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, and drop. And some of them would drop it early. Some of them would drop it on the 2. And so basically their whole mix is now off measure, right? And I had one student early on that she just had a really tough time. I mean, she got better at it over the course of the months, but that's probably the one thing that stands out. But I'd say 99% of the students that come in, especially girls, girls, like they're on it. I think they just
fast learners for sure.
Yeah.
More than the guys.
They have more rhythm. They're just like, because for whatever reason, you know what I mean?
The guys have too much ego, right? They get hurt easier.
I don't know. Maybe because they, I don't know. Girls grew up, probably did a lot more dancing than the fellas did. So, maybe that plays a part too. But yeah, that I don't know. That's probably the one thing I noticed. I don't know if you noticed anything else.
Is that lack of rhythm like more recent, like in the recent years, or it's always been a problem?
I haven't taught a class in a couple years because we've been so busy with Made from Scratch. Right. But that was, I mean, the few that I did teach, there was, like I said, not many. There's 2 that I remember that like that was their challenge.
Wow.
That was their challenge. And other than that, it's just again, depending on the curriculum of that particular course, if it's something a little more intermediate or advanced, like that's where you kind of start to see the separation, like at an intermediate plus level, because now we're teaching more advanced concepts. And so that's where you really see the differential as far as like people learning at a different pace. Some people will pick it up really fast. Some people, they might need a second class or like a refresher course or maybe a private lesson or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's like anything else, man. Like, you know, people they just learn at, I mean, they're wired differently.
Yeah.
People learn at different rates, you know, so.
Yeah. But, you know, we get a lot of DJs, you know, who have been DJing for a while already, but I noticed a lot of them will come with already bad habits, you know what I mean? And
Like what?
What trips me out is a lot of them aren't using their dominant hand, they're using their weaker hand. And I think it's just, you know, because they saw someone back in the day like moving the fader so fast, and so, you know, like the way that I go by is you know, you got to put your dominant hand on the record because that's your voice, you know what I mean? That's the control you want. The fader is just icing on the cake. That's just turning things off and on. It's not about the speed. It's about more the finesse on the record. You know.
Yeah.
You see, I'd be one of those people with bad habits because I do it the opposite. I'm like,
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I always use the right hand, which is my dominant on the fader, and then the left on the record.
Really?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the same way because of turntable TV.
Oh, okay.
Classic.
See, now
Watching you
we got to
guys.
go take this classes.
What's good, everyone? This is P-Dot from Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast. Whether you're just discovering the podcast or a day one listener, if you've been loving the content and want more, here's your chance to support the pod, get closer to the action, and unlock exclusive content by joining our Patreon. For just $5 a month, you can join our Tier 1 R.O.A.D subscription. This is for our loyal listeners who want early access to new episodes 3 to 4 weeks ahead, your name in the credits of every video episode, and access to our exclusive R.O.A.D edits pack. For the hardcore supporters, we've got our Tier 2 R.O.A.D for Life subscription for just $10 a month. This is the all-in package. You'll get everything from Tier 1, plus a monthly bonus episode, early access to our exclusive R.O.A.D 10 and R.O.A.D Talk interviews, behind-the-scenes content, our In the Crate series, along with unreleased projects. This is your chance to support the podcast and get more of the content that you love. Join the family today at patreon.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Check the link in our descriptions. We appreciate you, and let's keep this journey going.
You know, I've heard from one of the biggest haters in like in DJ world, Rock the Con, right? It was one of my close friends.
Okay.
Like he has like really praised your online courses.
Really?
Yeah. Like during the pandemic, he was just like bored and fucking around, and he was using the Beat Junkies. I think he was using my account. Or I don't know what he was doing. But I think he like. No, I'm wrong. Actually,
He paid for it.
Yeah, he actually paid for it.
Yeah, he paid for it. He told us.
paid for the courses, but he kept texting me like, "Yo, these courses are really fucking good."
Damn.
Yeah, like,
Wow.
especially for like, he was like, like you just said, like relearning how to scratch and just getting sharper, and then he was learning new scratches.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said your online courses are phenomenal, like
Damn.
really good.
Much love, man.
And he's
I
the
know.
type that would like fucking hate on
Yes.
it instantly. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Rock. Yeah, shout out to him, man. Yeah. He's always been cool though.
I do wish like there was a Beat Junkies institution of sound here because I'm like, man, a lot of these DJs will benefit a lot from that.
Yeah. No, and even
Especially
us.
myself.
Yeah, no, on our side too, like, and we talked about this internally, like when we started teaching, and shout out to Mr. Chalk, he pretty much like wrote the entire curriculum
Right,
for
yeah.
us. But I mean, doing these techniques, I mean, this is going back almost 10 years when we started the school, but these are things that we've been doing, you know, for 20 plus years. And, you know, everyone, you know, in the crew, we all have our different set of strengths. And for all these years, we finally realized like, we've been doing this stuff for 20 years, you know, D's like, you know, master of scratch, like maybe like I'm better at 2 turntable techniques, but I never thought about or felt the need to be able to articulate them and put them into words. Mm-hmm. So now you have to like, you know, you have to address that side of it because now you're presenting these concepts to people that they're there to learn. So you have to be able to demonstrate it and you have to be able to explain it, articulate it so that it really, really resonates with them, that was the challenge, you know? Have you ever tried to explain mixing, beat matching?
It's very, very hard to explain something that has become so remedial to you that it's second nature.
Right.
Like trying to explain like each movement, you skip over so many things
Yeah.
because it's like, I just do this automatically. But
Yeah.
like someone that's just learning has no idea where, you know, they should start, and getting that across in words and like showing is very tough.
Yeah, you don't think about it because, like you said, it's second nature. Like, but when you stop and think about it, like there's so many things happening, right? We're wearing headphones. We got split listening. You know, one ear to the cue, one ear to the room. You're riding the pitch control. You know, you're using the left deck, the right deck, up and down. All that stuff is just like we could probably do with our eyes closed. All of us in this room, right? But to someone that's brand new, that's a lot to take in. You know what I mean?
D, would you recommend the online course for like DJs who are just getting started? Is it more for intermediate kind of DJs?
We have both. You know,
both.
Yeah, we have both.
Because I get a lot of like people who come up to me and they're like, I want to learn to DJ, and I'm just kind of like, I always think like when you're first starting, you should be like with someone hands on. But maybe the online courses, like for the online courses, what do they need? Just a controller,
or 2 turntables. But I mean, we definitely recommend 2 turntables. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So so you have the beginner courses for all these?
We do. Yeah. But just like you said, it's better in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get 10% off if you put R.O.A.D on the discount code.
Get a free slice.
Slice, baby.
Is there? Can we get a R.O.A.D podcast discount?
10%.
We'll have Chef make a special for you.
They're like, no.
No, we're talking about the online school class because a lot of people do hit us up to trying to learn, but it's like, So yeah,
we can get a discount for you.
They got a discount code right here.
Use code R.O.A.D.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
D, I want to talk to you about Fantasmagoria. Like this is like tell me about this. It dropped in what 2002, right?
2001 or 2002, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, tell me the beginning stages of this and how it came to be.
So I was around when Qbert was making Wave Twisters, and this was around 97, 98, and I was watching him work, and I was like, man, I can do this. Like I can totally understand what he's doing, and that was a path that I wanted to do. Like I wanted to make my own album. You know what I mean? And so just from being around that, like I started working slowly on my own stuff. You know what I mean? But I did give Qbert one song for his Wave Sisters called Razor Blade Alcohol Slide, and so that was my first like attempt at like making scratch music. You know what I mean? And then so I started working on Fantasmagoria, and you know how it is, life. You start on stuff and you put songs on the shelf and then come back to it 1 or 2 years later. So it took me probably about, I guess, 3 years like to make it. You know what I mean? But it's basically my version of like what like I think like scratch music is. Influenced from like Portishead. From like that whole trip hop era.
Yeah.
I mean, so and I was influenced from like DJ Shadow too, like from that stuff he was doing. But I just wanted to do it with the turntable and like in my own kind of style. You know what I mean?
I think it's like one of the first examples that really like you could see turntablism becoming like music, almost like its own album, right?
No, that's a real thing. Like I remember like I think it was 2002, but he had the opportunity to go tour in Europe.
Right.
So I was fortunate enough to be part of the band. Like, so I traveled with them. We did like 20 odd shows all across Europe, and the album had been out for, I don't know what, 6 months, D, or something like that. But it was so dope because it's like, if you go watch any other artist in concert that has like, a strong catalog, right? And like they do one of their hits or one of their popular songs, of course, everyone goes nuts, right? It's the same thing. Like he would drop like a beat and they know the song and they get hype. And it's scratch heads, and it's a very niche thing.
Yeah.
But like it's a masterpiece, man. And people know it. They know like the singles, they know the album cuts, you know what I mean? And it's fun to be able to perform like D's music because it's just dope music, number one. And number two, like like what I think D said earlier, is just like, he likes to see like more risk taking. And like, so if on the album, maybe like a certain scratch solo was like 16 bars, he'll tell me like, Mello, you should go 32 here. You know what I mean? We'll extend this part, or like, we'll freestyle right here. So you get to have little fun, like, kind of ad lib moments like that too. It's really, like I said, it's being like in a band.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the touring, or did you just really just want to make this album, like?
No, I enjoyed it for sure.
Did?
Man. Yeah. Like that was my first time going out to like Europe and just, being around like that whole side of the world, you know what I mean? But it was the same 5 guys like at like every show that was like cheering. You know what I mean?
I was like, what?
So there were no baddies that came to see you.
It was a room full of
Backpackers,
scratch nerds, for
Jansport
sure.
backpacks.
You know what I mean? And then like one girlfriend or whatever that would roll. So.
You're continuing, like, you always producing right now. I have to, like, you're
Trying to.
you're making songs, like,
I'm trying to get back into it. You know
yeah.
what I mean,
When did you start recently, like, really start trying to put out music again?
probably like during the pandemic. I was like, shit. So like I always wanted to like work with MCs and stuff, you know, and so when everything got locked down, I started making more beats again. And some of the stuff was like, this is not good enough to just be instrumental. I need something on there, either a singer or an MC. So I would just reach out to different people on Instagram, and you know, I got flaked on a lot, but once in a while, you know, you would meet someone who was cool, and they would send you back something, and so yeah, that's kind of how I got back into it, you know.
Yeah, it's dope to see y'all like so active, not only with the business side, but also creatively, just juggling. You know, Mello, seeing you continually just put out routines even for Instagram, right?
Thanks. Not just for fun.
You know what I'm saying? And just like
you.
your Twitch streams, and it's great to see y'all active after like, you know, 30 plus years. And for the crew to like, you know, we've spoken about this so much, but just the IP, like the IP value of Beat Junkies. You know what I mean? Right. And what you guys created and the legacy of it, to the extent where you guys can open a pizza spot. I think it's insane, right?
to bring it all full circle, right?
It's really kind of an insane idea, but like only the Beat Junkies could do something like open a pizza spot.
No, it really was like, I always joke, it's a joke, but it's like there's some truth to it. I always say Sunil and his big ideas, because it really was his idea to like, you know, like kind of pivot and do this, but still like kind of tastefully integrate, you know, what we know and love. So
how did you all like initially meet all together? Like
I met Sunil like
Sunil.
I was gonna say, how did you guys meet this guy?
On the radio.
Are you kind of like an official Beat Junkie, or you're not?
He's family. Yeah. It's our brother.
Affiliate? You're like, you're like Capadonna?
Yeah, he's Capadonna. Exactly.
Thanks for that one, Crook. But I was the big show director at 99.1 KGGI, and Mello had a show at the Beat. I think they had a late night hip hop show that got dropped. So I was always a fan of these guys because I'm younger than them.
Right.
So
not by much.
But I'm still younger.
We can tell.
All right. So I met Mello. Mello came down to Riverside. I believe it was him and Rhett. And through that, we fostered our relationship. And Mello would always come and hang out with me at Red Cup Sunday. And I would tell him, I'm like, you guys have a great, strong brand, but what are you guys doing to make sure that brand can stand the test of time? So when you're gone, that the brand still exists. Like a brand called Stussy, everyone still knows what it is. A lot of people don't know that he was the best surfer at the world at one time, right? So I'm like, what are you guys doing? And I go, let me help you cultivate businesses, and so we can extend the legacy and the brand. And I mean, it would we just clicked right away. And
well, how are you qualified to do that, though? You know,
I'm Indian.
Facts.
He's hard working than the Mexican over here.
You have Sunil coming to you, telling you this shit. Are you like,
no, but
go fuck yourself? What are you telling me?
No, because I've been successful in business before, right?
Yeah.
So he's there at the party. They've seen what I've done, what's worked. And also, I'm from the same vein. Like, I'm a DJ before I'm a businessman or anything else. I just happen to surround my businesses around DJing because I don't want to do fucking anything else in my life. So I don't want to do corporate shit.
What is the talent that you see in yourself that you can apply to anything, pretty much?
I have the ability to see something and create it and then do it. And I'm just going to work harder than anybody else. I'm going to outwork everybody just to make sure this thing is done.
So you're like the ultimate executor.
I have no fear in my ideas. I mean, this idea right here, I was with Felly, shout out to DJ Felly Felt, and he's like, you know what, for real, you got a lot of ideas, but this pizza one, this thing's gonna do really, really well. It's like 3 years ago, and I was just shooting ideas out. But like, I'm constantly looking to try to, with these guys, we're constantly looking how can we elevate it? What's next? Like, you can't get stuck. You always have to see what's next. I mean, we have this. I'm sure something else will come up in a year or two after we get this thing dialed in.
So what was the first venture that you guys did together?
Were you behind the reunion they had in 2015?
Yeah, that was kind of like the catalyst for everything that we did, like moving forward. After that, like he came on board as like our acting manager. Because prior to that, we were kind of doing everyone was kind of like doing their own thing. I was still out here,
right,
doing nightclubs and stuff. And, J-Rock was doing J-Rock. And so like, after the anniversary, that's when we kind of started doing everything. He came in and, he would book us like, tours and like group events and solo stuff. And then the school, and then D, like that was his idea for the online school. But Sunil, like he's a good friend and a great partner. He's very business savvy, and he's kind of like I say like kind of like the yin to my yang. You know what I mean? Just because like I'm very meticulous. I'm very detail oriented, as is D. You know what I mean? And so it's good sometimes to like, when I'm really, really honed in down to like, a hair, you know what I mean? Like he'll kind of like reel me back and be like, oh, Mel, it's okay. We should, you know what I mean? Right. Don't have to have such a narrow approach. And then vice versa. Sometimes, what I'm saying? Like he'll have an idea, you know what I mean? I'll be like, it doesn't have to, be that super like dialed in, or we can, fall back or let things breathe a little bit. So, and he's accomplished and he's very smart. You know what I mean? He's very, very detail oriented, like I said, which is important, especially with something like the restaurant, there's just a gazillion things that happen daily, and we're only open 5 days a week. So even when we're closed, we're always like, we have conference calls, once a week. There's things that are just popping up. And so, he's always there. I'm always around. He's always around, and that's important in a partnership when you're doing something like on this level. And we're not, like he said, we're not a big group. Like, we were agreed from early on to just get this done somehow ourselves and finance everything. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we were able to do that. And the reason for that was because like we wanted to have 100% creative control, and I always told these guys 100% risk, 100% reward,
right?
So yeah, it's been a really, really good partnership. So
he's a movie producer now too, or a video producer.
no. Happy to be in league. These are my mans right here. So.
He has a video, Slice Baby, that we put out.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was just a promotional video. Yeah, that we did. So yeah, that was a fun one.
So I want to go back to 2015, Sunil. Like, what made you think about this anniversary that actually kind of, and Mello and D, would you agree that you brought the Beat Junkies back together?
I didn't. They were always together. They did the anniversary.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have any part of that. If we had any part, is we took all the individuals and we got together and we started focusing on moving as a unit for the brand.
Yes.
After the anniversary.
The anniversary. Okay. So everything's for the brand now. It's like the Lakers. No one can be bigger than just the Laker brand itself. So no one in the collective circle is bigger than the Beat Junkie brand itself. And it's just really the guys and me. I'm the only one I think they let in the circle in probably the last 100 years or something.
Yeah, it is like a legacy brand though. Mm-hmm. It's like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Smurfs. It just kind of like, it still gains relevance. It has this IP that you can't.
Thank you. Yeah. So Sunil was there at the anniversary show, and I think that's like, that was a really big event for us. Obviously that's, home turf, LA, where we're born and bred at, and we cut many a night up over there, back home. And so it was a great showing. We had 1,000+ people at the Echoplex, and then he was there, and I think that's where he kind of saw firsthand, and that was really the first time the crew had really done something like the entire collective in I don't know how many years, D, at least 10 maybe.
DJ Premier.
And so I think just him being there, just kind of seeing and feeling the energy and just kind of seeing the chemistry that we all had, together as a crew. He kind of pulled us all aside and was just like, man, you guys really do have something special. Even though it's been 9-10 years since you guys performed together, it's still there. You guys still have a fan base, and we should think about just kind of like I said, just making way for some new ideas.
That's one thing that we recently have, or at least myself, I have acknowledged and kind of understand that your best team will be your biggest fans, and they will come together and kind of your biggest supporters will help you kind of keep the train going. And that's one thing that when we needed an editor and a videographer and stuff like that, or even guest co-hosts like P-Dot, they were the biggest supporters before they were anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, he comes in, where he was just the biggest fan, and then he gets that one chance to just make it bloom. And
yeah. And then so I would see him at Red Cup, once a month or whatever, and like every time
week
he'd come down.
He was there every week,
every week or whatever it was, and then he'd come down and get me, even like Mello, we should talk about the DJs. Talk about the DJs. Go out. Like, I would kind of yes. Yeah.
Pour more Ciroc
like,
on
yeah, exactly. Let's go to the bar.
So, Sunil, you've been thinking about the DJ school since the Red Cup days?
I've been thinking about how to expand their brand. Like, I saw an avenue to make money. Like
even before, like, you were involved with them. You just were like, yo, they should have a school.
Yeah, we were friends. So it's like two friends hanging out, just talking. And
what made you think that they should have a school? It's so interesting to me. That you would pitch that.
It was really D's idea, the school, but Sunil was there to kind of help us like facilitate it and like really, all of us together, really. But like I said, just, to sum it all, just having him on board, like really has helped us out like immensely, just because like, as a small business, like, we've been fortunate enough to grow over the last 10 years. But I mean, with that, comes more work. And more work, you need more hands on deck, and so it's good to have like someone that you can rely on.
So Sunil, you won't let an idea just sit. You want to put it into action, pretty much, right?
Yeah. If I have something that I think is going to work, then I'll try to figure out a way to put it into action. Yes.
So D, what made you want to initiate the school?
Shit, I mean, because I always wanted to teach, you know what I mean, and so I was trying to get a job at a different school, but like they weren't really trying to.
They didn't want to hire. They didn't want to hire you.
Yeah, I guess not.
Really? If you know, you know.
That's not true.
Really? Yeah. So
if you know, you know.
He's the Rockefeller. You're the Jay-Z of DJ schools.
Yeah. Let me tell you this.
No one wanted you.
As an up and coming DJ in LA, that school, you guys' school, Beat Junkies Institution of Sound, when that opened, that was like a breath of fresh air for a lot of DJs.
Really?
Yes, because the other school, it was out the way and it was a little too pricey, and then when they came in, they had a better, like, I don't know, like I said a few times when you taught Melody, and then I've said a few times with when Mr. Chalk was teaching, and I'm like, oh shit, like this is like the Avengers teaching you how to be a superhero shit.
Yeah.
But at the other school, you would hear like mixed reviews and stuff like that. And
really?
Then, yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't hear about all this before.
Yeah. This is like in the 2000s, but yes, the Beat Junkies Institution of Sound.
Thank you, Jamie.
One of these gifts that these guys have all in general is that they're very humble, and this is who they are.
Yeah.
Right. So, shout out to Babs, Mr. Chalk, and Marcel. They've really created this community within the DJ school where you can feel comfortable scratching with a babu, scratching with a melody, and not feel like overwhelmed or you're not doing that good or anything that now that we put our fingers on. We create a community. Like even our restaurant, we have regulars, we have people who come in. Mello will play Cheers where everybody knows your name sometimes. You want to foster that community where people feel like this is their home. And these guys just do it naturally.
I was going to say that the last time I was at the Beat Junkies Institution of Sound, you guys, you did hit the nail on the head. It does feel like a damn community because you can go in there and learn, or you go in there even to dig because you guys have vinyl there.
Right.
And then they have that octagon thing where you scratch and then you realize you're shit. And then because Mr. Chalk is doing the scratches and then fucking ink comes shortcut and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, the community base, even down to the guy that runs the manager.
Silos.
He's been there from day one and he's always been there. And it's a great community base that you guys have definitely.
Word, thank you.
Foundation.
I mean, really, like the students, like they kind of take it upon themselves. Like they spend, the main course of foundation is runs about 10 months, 8 or 10 months. It's a journey. And, these classes, we have 12 per class. Sometimes the class is full, sometimes it's 9 or 10, but they just end up like just forging a relationship with each other, and to the point where like they start their own crews and like, they go out and DJ together and they support each other kind of the way that we do. Like, if D's playing and he's in my area and he's doing a show, I'm going to come out, I want to hang out with the homie and support the homie, and they do the same thing. So really that community, we like to think that we do a lot to encourage that, but it's really them. I mean, they just, they take it upon themselves to posse up and,
In the last few years, have you noticed a difference in some of the students that come in, like who their idols are or who they look up to, the DJs? Or has it been this? Is it you guys, or is it like? Is it more tech house DJs? Have you seen the influence on who their idols or who their heroes are?
I think it's like all over the place. Like you'll get people who are into someone that they saw at the Red Bull 3 style battle, all the way to to like a Marshmello. That's what they want to do. There's different people who are into EDM, and some people are more into the funk, and you know what I mean. So it's a mixed plate of stuff.
And it doesn't matter. You put them all in the same startup class.
Pretty much, because what we're teaching is that foundation, and just dropping on the one how to use the pitch, all that stuff.
We have production classes too, from Ableton to Serato Studio, I believe.
Well, let's get down to this. Let me hear about the pizza. How did the pizza start? How did it start?
Originally, when I had Icon LA, I had chefs and I had food, and I had this idea.
What's Icon LA? And then was that a part of Red Cup Sundays?
Yeah, so Icon LA was the nightclub, and we're the ones we threw Red Cup Sunday on top of that.
Okay, and you're one of the founders of Red Cup Sundays?
Yes.
So that was from what, 2012 to 17, right?
Yeah. Well, what happened was, I could tell you, I was the marketing director and running all of that. And rest in peace, Buys won. The Do-Over was looking for a place to go. So Buys brought the Do-Over. I think Babs and a couple other people came, but Jamie from the Do-Over, it wasn't really their style of the rooftop and all.
Yeah.
So that's when we just kind of pivoted, and I talked to my boy Gumby. And he said, I have an idea. Like, we could do a party called Red Cup Sunday, and we put everything in red cups. And I said, I'm with it. Let's do it.
Wow, that's how it started.
I said, I'll book the DJs. Make sure we're right.
But it went for like 5 years, right? It was pretty.
3 or 4 years before like the city will shut you down over there. It's funny because like if the LA Kings games are going and white people are acting up over there in downtown LA, no problems. But if you get a couple of Hispanics and black people coming around there and acting up, they want to shut you down right away in LA.
Okay.
Am I lying, Jamie?
Pretty racist.
No. I know it is. It's like dead on. It's like,
but that's downtown, right?
That's downtown, right?
They still fuck with the venues downtown.
Well, this was
like not even Hollywood and shit.
This was like 10 years ago.
So like, what was the like? I've always heard of it, but I've never been to a Red Cup Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, so
I mean, it wasn't typical for like a party to be in downtown, or was it? I'm not sure.
It was the rooftop setting that looked over the Staples Center, and then also when we curated the music, I mean, I had these guys come. We had everyone from Premier to Snoop to Jazzy Jeff. Everyone came through to do it.
So the music like throwback
was,
shit?
Yeah, it was always on point, and we just had the baddest girls there. So that's what really made it what it was. That there were so many females there that everybody wanted to be at that party.
Y'all remember that shit?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, there was definitely some big Sundays out there. Yeah, and it was a good run. I felt like it was like 5 years, but obviously you would know. But yeah, it went really strong for like a long time, and it was a good mix. But like Sunil said, mostly people of color, and musically, the range was pretty much wide open. I mean, whatever was new and current at the time, you were hearing some of that. But then, like, Sunil would always put down a really dope set of like, kind of like classics and throwbacks to like, kind of set the vibe, opening it up, and bring out guest DJs and brought in some really big names. It was dope. It was a dope LA like party. Yeah,
it was like an LA backyard function, but in the rooftop in downtown LA, which was the craziest thing because the Red Cup really made it feel like you were in the backyard.
Yeah,
and it was like. He had brought a bunch of the great DJs. Like I saw Homicide up there a few times, a bunch of the scam dudes at the time. But it was like you always knew the shit was going to pop.
But that day party shit was still early too, right?
It was very early. Once we did but there's always the door, so we didn't birth it. But the day party for like the Latin community, we Gumby and us, we pushed it forward. Now there's so many day parties, it's oversaturated and everything. But we were one of the, I guess, foundations to creating that, so other promoters could be like, "Hey, we can do this on a Sunday also," or attempt to do it.
I think at the time it was definitely the Do-Over, and then it was you guys, and then Toxic in Hollywood, and those were the big day parties. Outside of that, you really didn't see a lot of shit like that.
Right. So it's like the early beginnings of all that shit, especially. Yeah. And it was was it like trying to have like kind of that Vegas like pool party energy kind of, but like what was it?
Was more like LA energy, I would say. It's like more just like chill, not
like a backyard cookout kind of kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like a throwback. All right, so like how did this pizza idea come from this?
I had a chef there who was like a Michelin star chef that was really good. And so if you've ever been to our school in Glendale, right up the street, there's this bar called the San Fernando.
You're talking about the Beat Junkies Institute of Sound.
Beat Junkies Institute of Sound, there's a bar called the San Fernando. I told these guys, but I told Babu, I said, hey, if they want to sell that place, let me know, because we might want to buy it, because we can actually use it to facilitate the DJs at the school to come over here. And we can call it made from scratch, and it'd be like a double entendre, right? Like foods from scratch. Pizzas were like 12 inches. We just were coming up with all these different ideas. The word fresh, it just went hand in hand. And that didn't materialize. So right around the pandemic, I approached these guys again, and I said, hey, you guys want to do this restaurant? And they were down. So we're like, let's do it. We didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. And it
sounds frightening to open a restaurant.
Yes. It was a wild ride.
Is that why none of the other Beat Junkies are a part of it?
J-Rock was like, you guys can do it.
Doing this shit.
No, but same thing, like I was saying words back. Like we definitely put it on the table for all the fellas. And again, this is like we started kind of, he had brought it up to us like before that. But at the time, I think we had just opened the school in like 2017. And then we started beatjunkies.tv, which is the online school.
Right.
So the focus was really on getting those like dialed in and off the ground and up and running. So we kind of put the made from scratch idea on the back burner. Fast forward to the pandemic. Everyone had nothing but time, so we just started brainstorming, and then we did. We let the fellas know, hey, we're thinking about doing this. We're probably gonna make a run at it, but everyone was just so just preoccupied with now, are we gonna survive this one? And so, but they, we have their full support. They've all come out to DJ, and everything that we do, it's always like Beat Junkies at the forefront, representing. So
why the pizzas? Because the Michelin chef that you knew specialized in pizza?
No, we enjoy pizza, but. Like pizza, you can make into a 12-inch. We only have one size that made from scratch, and it's a 12-inch pie, like it's a record.
Okay,
that's the only size you have.
So this restaurant started from the sizing of vinyl.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like when you think about it, it's like, why would anybody? It's hard enough to take something out of your mind and create it.
Yeah,
and then say, okay, well, I want to make it a restaurant, which everyone will tell you fails time after time. But guess what? If there weren't people who did that, then we wouldn't have the stuff that we have in today's world. If there weren't people who said, you know what? Against all odds, let's do it.
So how many business ventures do you guys have right now?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, let's name it. You have the Beat Junkies Institute of Sound, which is your school. And do you consider the online just part of the school? Or is that completely different? That's part.
That's part of the school,
right? Yeah. Well, it's a separate business entity if you want to get technical.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. You have the online school, and then you have the in-person, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And then what else is there?
Beat Junkies Inc., which is our live entertainment company that we channel bookings and projects, recordings, collaborations, all that stuff.
Which can technically be like an agency. To a certain degree,
correct.
Right?
So it's just our kind of in-house, model that we use to channel all that stuff.
And then what else is there?
And then made from scratch.
Yeah.
So this is our fourth.
This is the fourth one.
Yeah, and it sounds crazy, like what Sunil was saying, but really, when we started talking about it, just us being creatives, being DJs, that's really how the idea came together. Because think about how you approach a DJ set, right? You think of I want to touch these 4 or 5 genres. Well, same thing. The first ideas, we're not thinking about the operation side as far as a kitchen and the equipment that we need. We're thinking of all these cool things that we could do, right? So then when we had a thorough list of this would be dope, that would be dope. We'll get a DJ booth. We thought of all this custom decor and unique decorations and things that we could do. And then we were making a run at it, we realized, okay, now we got to figure out like the bread and butter, which is like the kitchen, which is operations, like, you know, getting a solid team together, building a bar, getting a liquor license, like all the things that go into it.
Did you try the pizza first? Did you like the recipe for the pizza come first? Because that would be first for me. Right?
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough through my relationships at Icon that we were able to pick up Chef Greg and Chef Mark, and they call Greg Mega. But Mega, they're Michelin star chefs. And so he actually beat Morimoto and Iron Chef. So we hit him up and we're like, hey, you want to consult and do this pizza place with us? And they're like, we're down. So the food we already knew was going to be amazing because these guys are on that level.
Right. So like, is there like a catch to the pizza? Is it like sourdough? Is it?
Well, you're going to like this one, Crooked.
Yeah.
It's a New York style pizza.
Oh, now Crooked needs to go try it. You guys were afraid of David Portnoy. You're afraid of this guy over here. I'm rating your pizza.
Yeah, we were very fortunate to partner up with an extremely talented chef. Shout out to Chef Austin, the whole team in the back. But he's very meticulous and thorough when it comes to creating recipes. So like leading up to our opening, probably the 3 or 4 months before we opened, which was basically top of this year, that's when like, you know, everything was kind of up and running. So we had like a functional kitchen. So, you know, we were there wrapping up construction pretty much 5 days a week, you know, sometimes 6. And so while we were there, he would just bring out just different dishes.
Wow.
He just every day, like he would just surprise us. Hey, try this. This is again while we're working towards finalizing our menu. So he would just bring out different things, and everything tasted great to us. But again, like, you know, you're your own worst critic. So the things that we really like, we really got to have this on the menu. He's like, all right, well, let me adjust a couple things. So he the long story short is that he went through several iterations of like every dish, you know, before we like landed it on the menu. So it all kind of came together, like the food, like in the last 6 months. But like, you know, like Sunil said, like we were fortunate to partner up with Chef Mark and Chef Greg, because they were taking us around to different places, like, you know, just kind of like walking us through like the different ways or the different like styles of pizza, you know. But yeah, it was kind of like educational, but at the same time, like, you know, it all worked out, like, you know, by the grace of God. Like, but it's been a hell of a journey, man.
How many years is this now? Is it 5 years since 2020?
It took us 3 years to get it going.
Okay, so there's a DJ playing at like from open to close.
Yep, not from open to close, but like during like peak hours, which is like you know, just before dinner, 5 p.m. all the way to closing.
Wow.
So yeah.
And do you guys have like little different concept like pizzas, like Wu-Tang pizzas and shit?
We do. Yeah. Our menu is definitely, we had some fun with the menu. Yeah. The notorious PIG. That's our pepperoni pie. We had some fun with the menu. But again, it all kind of ties back to, you know, our life's work and our love for music and DJing.
Right. It's like, it's limitless what the Beat Junkies can do, right? You guys are a fucking business right now. You guys are opening up pizza spots.
Small business. All right.
Part of the plan, I mean, to be honest with you, is like as DJs as you get older, you have to think like, what's my next move? If you don't think like what's your next move or where you're going to go, you're going to end up nowhere and you're going to just miss it. So I told the guys, I'm like, if we can do this, create a blueprint, carbon copy it, then we can give older DJs from our same vein, be like, here, y'all want to make a made from scratch in your neighborhood? Now you can still chase your passion and do what you love, but you don't have the pressure of everything else that comes with being a nightclub DJ or wedding DJ or everything else to it.
That's dope.
You're selling this. You want to open franchises.
Eventually, I want to, but I want to open franchises because it is a business. So we want to make money, but we also want to give people opportunity, right?
Right.
It's like a DJ retirement plan.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I mean, you guys got a good rating on Google reviews. You got 4.8. You know, you guys are really doing good. You opened in April.
Yes.
So how's it been? Has it been?
Go ahead, D. You take this one.
Shit. I mean, it's been good. Like, you know what I mean? No complaints.
No complaints.
We have some complaints.
Well, I
can't please everybody.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, it's still a work in progress. We're still dialing things in. We're realizing what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but it's been steady. Like what's the biggest hurdle right now for you guys?
I think just you know, when we opened again, it's only been, I mean, to us it's been 3.5 years because that's how long the project really took. 3 years to land,
right?
You know, up until the grand opening. But we've only been open for 4.5 months. To us, it's like, damn, we've been open for 4.5 months, like, you know, but we're still new. People are still like finding out about us. And again, we're in a small community. So you would think the word would spread faster, but we've been seeing like slow, steady growth, like literally like, you know, month to month across the board. Like the word is, you know, spreading in the community, which is nice. You know, part of what we do, we call it touching tables in the industry, which is like, you know, when like an owner or a manager comes over and greets you, how's everything going? How's everything tasting?
Like the music.
Yeah. So, you know, just talking to guests for like a few minutes, you know, asking how they heard about us.
Yeah.
It's a lot of referrals. It's a lot of, you know, family and friends referrals. And we already have, like, we're fortunate to say we have like a really cool circle of VIPs, like regular guests that come in literally every week, clockwork, just because they like being there.
Yeah.
You know, they like the food, they love the food, and they dig the vibe, you know, which is great. And then social media wise, we've been like seeing like slow, steady, organic growth, like week to week, and just, you know, again, just trying to, you know, focus on, you know, the fact that we're a restaurant, but also trying to kind of, like I said, weave in kind of the music and DJ, but do it tastefully, you know. And it was Sunil that said, like, we always have to remember, like, we're not a nightclub, we're a restaurant. We're going to stay a restaurant. We're not going to be one of those spots that, you know, moves the furniture out the way at 10 o'clock and, all right, it's party time, everyone dance. Like, no. Because that's, he made a really good point. He was very adamant about that. So, but yeah, like that's the focus. And it's a lot of work, fellas. I mean, 3 years sounds like a very long time to go from concept to opening. I mean, how long did you guys have the property or the space?
So another thing is the landlord who owns the property, he didn't charge us rent until the day we opened.
Wow.
And the building's like 100 years old. If I give you some history, it was used back in the Prohibition days. There's tunnels all underneath our building to run liquor all through that thing. We have like 100-year-old brick behind our drywall, and as they were working on it, there was like a Dillinger like tucked in there.
Wow.
It was like on some history channel stuff. Like, oh man, like what is this? But that's why that building is so old. So there's a lot of history.
But does that take the build out longer? Because
it does because like because you have to retrofit it, and you have to make sure that, you know, the brick doesn't crumble, this and that. And to be honest, most restaurants or people, they'll go get outside money. We didn't do that. So that took a while too. Like,
wow.
Yeah. We bootstrapped it ourselves. We paid for it ourselves because we wanted to own it ourselves and not get any other influencers to come in and say, oh, okay, do this or do that. Because once you can prove your concept and you can show what it is and you can show your numbers, then I can take it to any venture capitalist that I'm friends with. And they don't care about the concept. They don't care about the name. They don't care to be creative. They just want those numbers. But if you don't have those numbers in the beginning, when you go and ask for outside money, then they might start infringing on your creativity as well.
You're doing all these events at the pizza spot made from scratch, right? So how's that being organized right now?
I mean, just kind of like when we have something to celebrate, and we're pretty selective. I mean, we always brainstorm. Hey, maybe we should think about, you know, just like any other venue, like you try and get in front of your calendar, right? So we look at, like, right now we're looking at the month of September, just kind of like mapping out. And some things have happened sporadically just through the connections that we've made through the community, which have been great. You know, like I said, it's been cool to see people come to our place because they generally like love the food and they like being there. They like, you know, they enjoy the staff and they enjoy everybody's company, and it's a vibe. It really is, you know? So we just try and kind of strategically like map events around, you know, something obvious, sometimes like a birthday, like Dee's birthday, or like anyone from the Beat Junkies. And we try and just basically like do what we've been doing for the last 3+ decades, but bring it to our spot. And like a community that probably doesn't get to see the walks of, you know, J-Rock or Peanut Butter Wolf, or, you know, Sunil did a really dope 25-year reunion for the radio show he used to do in the IE on 99.1. So, you know, and when we do stuff like that, like it brings out fans of the guests, but it also, like, you know, again, because this is something that probably doesn't happen all that frequently in Redlands, it also brings out like the heads, you know what I mean? Like people that maybe they've seen us on whatever, online or whatever, on social media, but now they have like a reason, like, oh man, so-and-so's DJing, or Rhett going to be there this hour. We got to go peep, you know? And it's dope because like when we have like some big name guest DJs, like people will bring in like, Redmatic, will you sign my record? Or Shortcut was there.
Crazy, yeah.
They'll bring out a poster. Short, yo, will you hit this for me? Like, and it's dope, man. You know what I mean? Because that's who we are. That's what we do. And so it's cool to be able to like bring stuff like that to like a community that probably doesn't see a whole lot of that, and have it be so well received, and know that there is a fan base for the era we came from out in that community. So it's dope in that regard.
It's dope. Made from scratch. So which is your favorite pizza? These styles. You have a favorite?
Portuguese love.
What is that?
So it's
like Filipino Portuguese sausage.
No. So it's based off of the Tina Marie.
Yeah. So it's if you want to know what it's on that pie, it's a crema based sauce with goat cheese, mozzarella, potato confit with avocados on top of it, I believe some roasted garlic, and they put a salsa verde on the top.
Look at your bougie ass. These styles.
Like,
I mean, it's
complicated.
It's like simple and minimal, but the flavors are levels. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. What about you, Mello?
I'm pretty simple. Like I like pepperoni. I like my cheese slices, but I have to say, so another cool thing that Chef does, on the weekends, because we do slices. So all of our, our dinner menu, all the pies, they come off of a 12-inch tray, which are great for like family style for sharing. But late at night and on the weekends, everything comes off of an 18-inch tray. So it's that like hearty, like 9x9x9 traditional New York, that fat ass slice, right? So he always has a cheese and a pepperoni on deck every weekend, but he'll run a special, and it's really just like, that's his kitchen. So we told him, whatever you want to do, like get creative, we're going to do that in the front with the music and all that. But to answer your question, I think the next one is he did this Supreme Pizza just as a special like 2 months ago, and it was a huge hit, and it's delicious, and it's just basically like the works. It's got all the meats and like jalapenos, olives, mushrooms. It's bomb. Our food really is very good. I mean, obviously that's gonna sound biased, but the flavor is really there. Like he's very talented. He's got a great team at his side in the back. We have a great crew in the front, just across the board. So so far so good. It's a tough business, as we've been told. I'm sure everybody knows it's no joke. I remember I think the last time I saw you guys, we were at Best Friend, and this was, I don't know, a year and a half or two ago for the F1 race?
Yeah, we did the Best Friend thing.
Right. Yeah, Jamie saved the day in the DJ booth for us.
I didn't do anything. What happened?
No.
We had to switch CDJs to turntables because they didn't set it up for them. But I was switching it. Meanwhile, I was DJing mid-set. I was switching it mid-set, and I was just switching out the CDJs to the turntables. And then Mello looks over. He's like, "God damn, you could do it all."
Yeah.
While you're DJing.
Super multitasking.
I was like, "Yo, move this. Let's put this." But
yeah. So I was like, "Man, they don't call you the great for nothing." That was pretty killer right there. But on that visit, again, this is kind of like we had just kind of started getting the ball rolling on everything. So I was talking to Chef Roy Choi, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard you guys are, So Neil, I told him, and I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "We're still under construction. We have a long way to go." I was like, "You have any advice for me?" And I'll never forget. He said one thing. He was like, "Mello," he's like, "I would say this. I'll tell you one thing, and just make this like kind of like the cardinal rule." He's like, "Just be attentive and be present." Like, and he didn't mean like in a micromanaging sense. He just meant like, you got to be on site, because there's so many moving parts. You have the back of house kitchen, you have the front of house, you have all your overhead, you have expenses that come in every week, food orders. You got to watch the bar. You got to have a good team, on board. I was very adamant, these guys know about just really, really creating like warm hospitality. So, the three of us, ownership, we didn't really sit in on any of the interviewing, any of the hiring process. We empowered like our GM and our bar lead to kind of do all that. But we had a thorough conversation with them about, this is the culture that we want to create here, down to the hostess. Like, that's the first face that the guests see when they walk in. She's always got to be smiling. She doesn't have to have a full on conversation with them, but she has to give them that warm welcome to kind of like break the ice to where they feel comfortable. And then same from the servers, like the whole experience, So, but yeah, all those things, you know what I mean? There's just so much to be in front of. So shout out to Chef Roy. I'll never forget that. Like he pulled me aside and he told me, I was like, that's enough said. You know what I mean?
It's funny you mentioned that, because I work at Best Friend closely and I see him a lot, but he is very hands-on and he's always present, and he's like walking around making sure every plate is looking nice. He's greeting people. Of course, people want to take pictures with him. he's more than welcome to do that with everybody. But he does have this presence, and not a micromanaging way, as you said it. It was more so like, you know, he just, I don't know, it's weird to explain. Just he's overlooking the city, make sure everything is going good.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it resonates well with our team too. Like just the fact that, you know, sure, like technically there are employees, right? But like just for them to see us like on the floor and be there every day, like shows them that we really care. Like this is our baby. It's like a plant. Like we got to water it like every day. Yeah. You know, I'm out there 5 days a week. I'm driving 65 miles each way. You know what I mean? Some of those drives are fucking brutal, man. Like 2.5 hours on a Friday. It's like, goddamn. Like,
hope you got the easy pass, bro.
I do. And even with that, it's still like, oh man, it's crazy. But I think overall, like, you know, again, to us, it's been a pretty long and arduous 4.5 months, but we're still new, like in the grand scheme of things, right? Yeah. But you know, like I was saying words back, I really feel like everything's off to a really great start, considering like how tough this business is, you know, how challenging it can be, and just like literally, it's like it all comes back to it's week to week. Like things just change, you know. Some weeks like you have a killer week, and some weeks like out there it gets pretty hot. Like it doesn't. People don't want to be out in the heat. Yeah. You know what I mean? So those weeks, like we see a dip in like, you know, and guest, you know, attendance and sales, and that's kind of expected. You know what I mean? But again, as long as like, you know, we're present, we're involved, we're attentive to everything, we're in front of everything that we need to be. We feel like we're putting the work in, and you know, we're nurturing it. We're trying to foster it to grow to something special and have it be successful. Yeah.
I think it's gonna do well, man. Like you guys got a good rating on Google review. You know what I'm saying? Like
we need the crooked review though. We got to go.
We need the crooked review with even the New York slide. Yeah, we got to go viral with that. But
yeah, D and I handle like all the Yelp reviews, and we're very good about like responding to everybody like within a very reasonable time frame, and hopefully that, you know, that just bodes well for like our public image and for our reputation, because that's really who we are. You know what I mean? Like you see us out at a gig, you see us out in the street, like you want to say what's up or have a convo with us about Fantasmagoria or whatever, like you know, we're people like that, like, so you know what I mean. We're always happy to slap hands with folks and engage when we can.
I think there's been 2 other DJs that's opened pizza spots.
Yes,
I think one of them was DJ Hollywood in Vegas. He opened a pizza spot.
Really? Damn, Hollywood.
Yeah. But it was more like fast food pizza spot. It felt like Domino's or pizza, like Pizza Hut.
Did y'all try it?
We actually ordered it.
Okay.
When was this?
This is like
2005.
This is when I actually still had the store. I had new, and it was like it was like early on. It was like 2009, maybe 10.
Oh, that's a while back. Yeah.
15 years ago.
We ordered that, and it was like we were like, oh, you know, they had wings. It was basically the Domino's menu a little bit.
Gotcha. They probably ordered it,
but you could tell like it was all like everything was from like the sauce was from like packaged. Cheese.
Right.
I don't know if there was like a pizza starter kit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like
they didn't have a Michelin star one.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like, you know, like get all the same shit. But it was I. But then I think JCO had
Gorilla Pies.
Gorilla Pies.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, has any DJs come in and been like, "Yo, how can I get a booking in here?"
All the time,
There's some bookings here.
No, we do, which is cool. You know what I mean? People they want to be a part of it, which is great. You know, and I field a lot of the DMs. You know, and then we do get people DJs that'll walk in. But you know, it's tough because now we're kind of on the other side, right? Like we're DJs, so we understand, like, you know, kind of like, oh, this is cool, I would love to play here. Like I get all that, but it's like I tell people, like, you know, send me like a link or to a mix or like a video. I mean, just so you can get a sense of like their musical taste. Yeah. You know, technically, can they blend 2 records? Yeah. You know what I mean? So can't just put in. I mean, we're a restaurant. We have 90 seats. It's a small, you know, space, but like
90
we have
seats. Wow.
90. Yeah. Wow. So it's modest size, but full bar. But anyhow, like, you know, like we're very particular about like, you know, the sound that we want in there, and you know, you can't just put anybody on.
Man, I've been doing 6-hour sets, 7-hour sets.
Amazing.
All
clean, I assume.
All clean versions. I never thought my radio days would come back where the clean versions and edits would come into play, but right now it's really just us 3 that DJ mostly, besides our close DJ friends inside our circle, just because we're so brand new and we're trying to cultivate the culture of music and what should play there. At this point, any DJ could come in there, and if they wouldn't know really what to play, they would just play whatever they want. Right. Because we're not new enough. I mean, we're not old enough where they can listen to us. So for the last few months, just us, we just play the music, and so that we can pick it up. And we're starting to learn what the crowd likes at this time. It's like really, it's still the same principles you learn from DJing of holding a bar at a club is the same thing, because we have a dinner service on Friday night.
You're trying to hold the pizza spot.
Yeah, hold it down, bro.
Between 8
You gotta keep the pies coming out,
between
bro.
8 and 10 is the most important part, because that crowd that's finishing their food can stay to have drinks.
Right.
So you have to transition from
Oh my
like
God.
dinner music all the way to a more like up tempo or
What a torture for the DJs to like have to read the crowd.
Yeah.
Wait, well, how do I shift over from pizza eating to like dinner drinks afterwards?
What do you think I do at Best Friend? That's what it takes.
That's exactly what I
It's
do
the
when
same
I play
thing.
Best Friend.
Yeah, that's what you gotta
the
do.
science
You're like,
behind it's still right.
I know
Yeah.
that's how sensitive DJs are. Is that we're like we have to keep the crowd
You gotta keep it.
Yeah.
from the dinner to the bar, and then just like we're keeping an eye on that shit.
Bro,
no matter
yeah.
what.
I've gotten in trouble at Best Friend. Like, yo, you keeping people here too long. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
90 minutes, I just start sucking, and I'm like, all right, flip the room.
Yeah, it's like flipping the room, but from like the restaurant part to the bar part of the restaurant.
Yeah, the turnover. Yeah, no, for sure.
No, I won't ask this.
What do you
I was
ask?
gonna ask if one of your biggest problems is like the workforce, like hiring work people.
No,
it's not at all.
We
We've
got
been
really lucky.
very
Really?
blessed.
Yeah.
We have a great staff that engages the community. They're there. We just we placed in a drink competition just recently for the Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. But our staff's very, very, very good. That not to mean that there's some staff that aren't, but we've been fortunate enough. Shout out to Joey, our general manager.
Yeah.
he put together a really good team.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And everything else you can teach, but you can't teach personality. So that's the most important part.
Yeah.
When you find people who are going to come in and they smile at you.
Yeah, that's been one of the biggest like issues and obstacles for all my friends who have businesses, especially in the restaurant.
Finding a good team. No,
Yeah,
for sure.
no, like it's just impossible to like hire like staff.
Good people. Yeah.
in the kitchen and outside, but mostly outside, like in front.
Right.
Like it's just been like it's been horrific.
Yeah, that was one of our biggest worries. Like
Yeah.
as we got closer to opening, I'm like, man, I just, I would call him stressing out. Like, man, I hope we find some good people, and fortunately we did. I mean,
I think
it's-
not being in LA is a big factor. Because you don't have all
Maybe.
these motherfuckers trying to be an influencer, an actor,
Right,
a writer. Like
right.
they're not
It's a good-
distracted.
that's a
Like
good point. Yeah.
You know.
I mean, listen, anybody who's coming to the restaurant business, they're not coming there unless they're a chef. They're not coming there to be a dishwasher their whole life. They're not coming there to be a bartender,
Right.
waiter. This is just a stop in their journey. And if you can recognize that that's what it is, then you can cultivate like a good team. Like I tell my general manager, I'm like, everybody knows who the Lakers are, but we don't know everyone who played for the Lakers over all the years, but you know who it is. So you just got to cultivate that. And we've been lucky enough that we have good staff, good people, and we actually get flooded with resumes every single day of people who do want to come and work. And it's, we try to put a good, fun environment out there. But
Yeah.
in business, as long as you don't take stuff personal, you can succeed. You got to be able to just brush it off real quick and keep it moving. In every aspect, and if you can do that, you can find some good people. You can do that. It's about managing people at the end of the day, personalities.
Is there anything we haven't talked about that y'all want to talk about?
When y'all gonna come and do the crooked pizza, we can do a Rogue Podcast pizza.
What kind of pizza? What?
This is how you do it.
Something
because now,
bitter and old.
Old age cheese.
Just kidding.
Some Gouda.
Yeah.
I'll definitely make some Gouda. Have you guys had the first Mexican pizza in there?
We did. What did we do for
we
Cinco
do
de
carne
Mayo?
asada. We did a
Yeah,
pizza.
carne asada. That's right.
We'll make an al pastor one.
Yeah.
Al pastor.
Yeah,
We got
for sure.
a like chicken tikka pizza. My mom
Oh, shit,
did the
dope.
we call it Dr. Bombay.
dope.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff. Salads. We're gonna have wings pretty soon. On the wings of love.
Wow.
Shout out to Jeffrey Osborne.
I think I
good one.
might need like a Kalbi pizza.
Kalbi.
With the
Oh,
short
yeah, we
ribs.
can make
Short
that.
I
rib.
mean,
Yeah.
we're friends with Roy Choice, so I mean, if
We're just bring
Crooked
it
comes and does his versus Roy Choice, no, but y'all got to come. All jokes aside, come.
No, definitely.
Come.
Yeah, for
You can
sure.
broadcast from there. You can eat some pizza, eat some food, have a good time, jump on the tables, play what you want.
Do a 6-hour set like we
Yeah.
do every weekend.
I love it.
No, I mean, like if anyone could pull this off, I think y'all could pull it off. The Beat
Thank you.
Junkies can definitely pull it off.
I mean, they got us at NAM, and then fucking Stevie Wonder hangs out at the place where we're talking.
He was just passing through though. He wasn't coming to our booth. Yeah.
It was a great time.
Nah, but you know what? Congratulations on the pizza spot.
Thank you.
Made from
Thank you.
scratch. We're definitely gonna stop through.
Please do.
We'll do the drive out there, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do the drive. You come with. Before we leave, what is the hours of operation and the address for this place?
So we are located at 118 Orange Street. That's in Redlands, California. Zip code out there is 92373. We are open right now from Wednesday to Sunday, 5 days a week. We open at 4 p.m. Wednesday through Friday. We close at 10 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday. So 4 to 10 Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, 4 p.m. to midnight, pretty much. Nice. And then Saturdays and Sundays we're open for brunch. We open at 11 a.m. on the weekends. Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday night we're open late until midnight, sometimes a little later. And Sundays we're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And we do slices all weekend. Come get that slice.
We're going to open for lunch in about a month. So.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Well, best of luck with the restaurant. We can't wait to stop through. Yeah. Mellow D Styles, Sunil.
DJ for real.
DJ for real. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
Shout out to the Beat Junkies.
Yeah. Thank you. Yo. Thank you guys. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Sir.
Thank you.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.